Hey yo, welcome to the Nightmare Blunt Rotation. As established in my past two videos, I'm currently sat on a 61,000 word document focused around all of the allegations that have come out or developed significantly since the Drake and Kendrick beef came out. And today, we're talking about Dr. Disrespect. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for those who are unaware, Dr. Disrespect is an extremely large YouTube streamer. However, he wasn't always on YouTube. Originally, he became famous on Twitch and had even signed an exclusive multi-year contract to stay on that platform. Despite this, on the 26th of June 2020, he was permanently banned out of nowhere. I just have to make it clear that this just does not happen on Twitch. I mean, the most they'll hand out is an extremely temporary ban. I mean, for fuck's sake, there was a woman who was fucked on stream and the most she copped was a week ban. What's even funny is that she was actually a tiny streamer at the time as well, and it actually blew her career up. So it's fucking absurd that they permanently banned what they were basically championing as the face of Twitch. The next clip I'm gonna play is Dr. Disrespect's last ever 30 seconds on Twitch. For some reason, he decided to play a Roblox video for the occasion. Definitely doesn't help with the sus factor.
I appreciate everyone watching today.
Who's it in the backyard? Who is going to be looking?
We'll get.
Really, like you said, we don't really know some of the.
Yeah,
We'll get through this Champions Clip. I know it's a tough.
Because I don't know this one well.
Life's weird right now.
Yeah, look.
We'll
It did.
we'll get through this, okay? And
Hey, Kristofer.
Dun dun dun! You better not taunt me. How dare you?
fuck.
You get to try
Well, back then, all we had to go off was the ban itself and the vague official statement from Twitch that was as simple as, we enact punishments for community guidelines violations regardless of channel size. Coincidentally, 5 days earlier, Twitch had actually released a public statement in regards to the sexual misconduct in the industry, stating that they would be handing out suspensions and bans. At the time, I wasn't so certain this is linked to Dr. Disrespect's permanent ban, however, it's looking quite a lot more likely now. Dr. Disrespect returned by beginning streaming on YouTube a month later on August 7th. Around the same time, he broke his silence on the ban doing interviews with PC Gamer and the Washington Post, stating that he still did not know why he was banned. Oddly, a year later, Dr. Disrespect ends up revealing that he does indeed know the reason for his ban. However, he also states that he's going to be suing Twitch, which is just fucking bizarre to me, and I'm sure you'll think the same when we get to the reason for his ban. The public, however, still had no idea. And there was a gaming journalist, which might I add is not a good mix of words, by the name of Slasher, who had said that his sources informed him it wasn't due to a DMCA as people suspected. However, he had no clue what the actual cause was. The other potential source was the ex-account directors and strategic partnerships manager at Twitch, Codys. The issue with this, however, is that he was trying to use it to sell tickets to his show. Well, that was until June 22nd, 2024. Out of nowhere, Cody tweets out he got banned because got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. This was a community-shattering tweet. You had people claiming that Doc was a pedophile. You had people claiming that the rumor was not true. And then you had a third camp, the Sneeko types, that said, yeah, he was sexting a minor, but it was okay due to some weird fucked up mental gymnastics. I personally was just in the camp of waiting to see either the logs themselves or Doc's response. 2 days later, The Verge releases an article with an anonymous ex-Twitch employee who corroborates Codys tweet. The day after that, it begins looking really bad, as Dr. Disrespect is dropped by the Midnight Society, which is the game studio he co-founded. This clip I'll play in a second is believed to be the moment that he found that out.
You know how we run things here.
I just have to be clear, I didn't edit the audio. That was just perfectly timed on Elden Ring's behalf. But yeah, he ended up ending stream shortly after that. It's worth noting that the Sneeko types and Dark Defenders were really leaning on this unverified leak, which I'm pretty sure was just written by some random Dark disciple and emailed to the top streamers. Everyone who's coping saying this letter is real seems to be under the impression that it was a 17-year-old DrDisrespect was messaging and that he didn't know the age of them at the time. I really don't think this letter holds any weight because what self-respecting 17-year-old is using Twitch whispers? No, seriously though, this claim seems to be pretty easily refutable when you look at Doc's tweet that he put out defending himself from Cody Connor's claims, which is what I'm going to talk about next. This tweet is just fucking absurd. I mean, look at it. He's gone back and deleted it now, but even on the day, he was editing in and out the word minor. Doc stated that not only was he contacting a minor through Twitch whispers, but that the conversations sometimes leaned to the direction of being inappropriate. This is coming from the guy who was accused, and the best framing he could think of was minor, not 17 years old, which still sounds fucked considering Doc is 42 years old, but a hell of a lot better than the inconspicuous term minor, which could be a fucking 12-year-old for all we know. There's also the point that he doesn't mention anything like not knowing their age at the time. In fact, there was a Rolling Stone article primarily written by Slasher that I will talk about more later, in which he cites an anonymous Twitch employee who claims they witnessed the exact opposite, stating that not only did Doc know their age, but that the messages were no less explicit after he had learnt it. Let me also establish that Doc is and was married with kids, and so he is cheating on his wife with someone who's closer to his kid's age than his own. Not the first time he's cheated on his wife, by the way.
Hey guys, kind of having a little bit of an announcement. And I just want to be completely transparent with you guys. As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid, and I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful and and I'm probably going to be taking some time away, time off to focus on stupid fucking mistakes, man.
People theorize that the ban reason never came out because 1, there was an NDA signed, and 2, it was in neither party's best interest. If you look at Twitch, up until Doc's ban, they're championing him as the face of their business. Just from a marketing sense, it would be a fucking catastrophe for that guy you claimed represented your top creators and platform to be outed as inappropriately messaging a minor at best, or just a straight up fucking grooming pedophile at worst. I don't think I need to explain why Doc didn't want any of this coming out either. DrDisrespect has actually returned from his hiatus and he's taken an interesting approach to responding to this type of allegation I don't think I've ever seen before. That being finally adopting the moniker of DrDisrespect and just going full mask off on anyone who criticizes him, shit-talking them. If it wasn't for the fact that he's dealing with pedophile allegations, I would call it somewhat base, but that doesn't mean his comeback pose wasn't a fucking disaster, as you can see here. Why the fuck did he pick to be playing chess against checkers? Checkers is notoriously a children's game, hence why the phrase comparing the two exists. And what the fuck do you mean Kendrick line? I just did a whole ass research document plus video and I don't remember the line, I heard you a pedophile ninja, I heard you like little boys and girls ninja. Yeah, Doc, he did get you big time. And so did this guy. Like, what the fuck is his PR team thinking if it isn't just him leading the charge on all these brain dead decisions? Before addressing Doc's comeback stream, I wanted to talk about some of the side characters in this allegation. As I previously stated, Cody Connors was the guy who initially broke the news. However, it seems to me as if he knew the reason for years and yeah, tried to use it to sell tickets. I would call that kind of base if he had actually revealed the reason at one of his shows and then publicly afterwards, like 2 years ago. But as far as I'm concerned, that's not what happened. Slasher, who appears to be a friend of Cody just based on how much they tweeted each other, was vague posting about the ban at the time, as previously mentioned. At the time, people thought he was just trying to leech attention off of the situation. However, more recently, it seems to me as if he just wasn't letting on all he knew. Look, disregarding the reasonable doubts about him even having access to that information at the time, I did initially have empathy for Slasher and his circumstances of having his career damaged by people not willing to believe that Doc had done any wrong. However, upon seeing the media tour he did most recently, doing interviews with Hassan and Destiny, for example, and writing a fucking article for the Rolling Stone, I've reflected a little. Slasher states that he did indeed have the info for why Doc was banned all the way back in 2020, and no one else seemed willing to release it. So why the fuck didn't he? Slasher claims it's due to the sensitive nature of the topic, implying it was to protect the victim. However, you didn't need to release the victim's identity in order to make the claim, and that identity still hasn't been released to this day, so what the fuck are you talking about? In fact, Slasher gave credence to my argument in his own article when he quoted the ex-anonymous Twitch employee who claimed that they were only willing to come out with the claim after Cody had, as it instilled them with confidence. Also, if Slasher is just worried about pissing people off, I mean, sure, he'd be practically marked for death by the most die-hard Doc fans, and it's possible he'd be burning some useful sources like Cody. However, he'd also be the guy who released the reason for Doc's fucking Twitch ban, which I would have thought is exactly the type of infamy you want as a journalist. And wouldn't that get you a lot more sources than fucking whatever the fuck Cody has to tell you? The guy who's trying to, you know, sell tickets from this Twitch ban? Well, I got my answer during those aforementioned interviews, as it was revealed that Slasher is fucking spineless. In both interviews, he glazed the diametrically opposed Destiny and Hassan, leading to a bunch of fucking absurd contradictions.
Hey, I like the one who shall not be named too. You know, I like everybody, okay? I think
who shall not be named? Are you talking about? Are you talking about Destiny? Obviously, with Destiny, it wasn't like the same reasons as to why Doc got banned. That's not what I'm saying at all, okay? But imagine if, like, if I were to use an analogy, imagine if DrDisrespect was, like, openly, you know, trying to hit on minors. That's not what Destiny got banned for, okay? That's not what Destiny got banned for. But what he got banned for, basically, and we don't know the details. You don't know the details. I don't know the details. But he has been openly doubling down on all of those activities and being a relentlessly toxic person to pretty much anyone he chooses to put in his crosshairs for the past, you know, 4, 5, 6 years. So, you know, there's no repairing that bridge.
Yep. I've seen
like anti-negative PR campaigns that are masked under the guise of like holding people accountable. So it's not like shit ain't sweet.
Again, can't argue there, or I won't. It's all good. For some reason, this doesn't surprise me.
Why? You just said that you were shocked that people that could be studying this conflict for decades could have no information or knowledge about it. Shouldn't that shock you?
Well, it seems more like, I don't like to discredit people's experiences and like knowledge within a certain field. I mean, look, I've worked most of my life in like esports and gaming, and I can easily, especially in my world, out like debate and talk a bunch of people that I feel could definitely not know what the fuck they're talking about. But especially for people that I've known for a long time, I know they've also been in it for decades or whatever. I'm trying really hard not to downplay their, knowledge about stuff. But I mean, I can understand feeling people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it being really frustrating to then listen to people not know what the fuck they're talking about, talk a lot, and how that's super annoying. So I hear where you're coming from. I actually don't know how that you do this. I would hate
true, but
that.
weren't you just glazing Hassan, saying that Hassan has been pretty correct on most things, and that I'm like an unhinged person? How can you think that I'm unhinged online? How can you think that I'm unhinged online when Hassan was literally quote tweeting a sitting senator with a picture of a homemade firearm because he didn't like what the person was saying?
Okay, I didn't want to. Just so you know, look, I probably shouldn't have started the conversation in general, but I was trying to be fun and nice about it, and lighthearted, okay? And then he started to get pointed at you, and I wasn't there to wasn't trying to fucking talk to him. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said anything to begin with.
Okay. Well, just make me feel like you're playing both sides, and then now glaze me when I say that Hassan is one of the stupidest motherfucker. Of course you were. You're good to them. That I was a crazy unhinged person that he'd never been unhinged at all.
He asked what I was gonna go do, and I said I was gonna watch the stream. A bunch of and he was like, "Yeah, I'm the best pop commentator." I was like, "Oh well, I'm also gonna probably be watching Thou Who Should Not Be Named."
I know we listen. I know we watched it. We just watched on stream like 4 or 5 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we saw it. Yeah.
So I wasn't. If me bringing that up probably shouldn't have done it because obviously I knew where he would go, but I wasn't trying to fight with him about you, so I just kind of agreed. Maybe that is wrong of me, and I'm sorry for
that's
not.
good enough. I think you've said enough
honor.
so that if he watches back this clip, now he's gonna mold like crazy and DM you, or
I may be going too hard on him, but bear in mind, Slasher could have just been like all the other spineless people involved and kept his mouth shut, but instead he decided to vague post about it with no evidence. That's just my judgment though. I don't know the guy, nor do I know the other side characters in this story, the shirtless thumbs from Spy Kids, aka Nick Merckx and Tim the Tapman.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with. Oh, yeah, sex offender. And he was your mans. He was your boy. I heard you grew up with him. That's crazy, man. You ain't know what he was doing? You ain't feel bad at all? Like, no guilt?
Okay, to be honest, Tim the Tapman seems alright, and I don't recall him carrying too much water for Doc. I just brought him up because for some reason he was shirtless in his response video, and weirdly so was the aforementioned Hassan. Nick Merckx, on the other hand, seems like one of the biggest fucking meatheads of all time. As the allegations were initially dropping, he released this video to Twitter.
Yo, checking in. Look, I opened Twitter, bunch of my mentions are he, they, she, hey, they, fucking, I identify as a helicopter. God damn it. And I seen the couple tweets about the doc. I'm as taken back as a lot of you guys are, okay? But the fact remains that these are some crazy accusations. Crazy, big time accusations. And until we know more, until we know them as fact, until they've been proven with evidence, what are we talking about? What's anybody talking about? As far as the leave the little kids alone stuff, this doesn't make it any further from the truth. Leave little children out of your shit. Have a nice day.
Using the extremely dated helicopter meme or he/she/they in an attempt to discredit people who are concerned about a pedophile allegation is moronic for a couple of reasons. As I've already mentioned, the Apache helicopter statement is an extremely dated transphobic joke that can be found on 4chan all the way back in 2014, which, let me remind you, was 10 years ago. Also, what the fuck is the implication? That it's only non-binary or trans people that care about fucking grooming allegations? Regardless, the meathead did end up releasing another shirtless banger to Twitter in which he drastically changed his tune.
Yo, checking in, seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, you know, he was texting an underage girl, and it went weird sometimes, you know, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, right? There's no excuse for something like that, and I can't support it. Hang on, honey, doing this, talking to Twitter. I can't support it, I can't defend it. And look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy and it feels a little weird, but what can you do, you know? So I just wanted to update you guys on my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And I mean, look, I hope you guys have a good day, all right?
Notably not as drastic as you'd expect considering how hard he went on Ava Chris Tyson, another individual I will talk about down the line in a future video. The whole video just gives me the vibe that since the Doc allegations dropped, he's just left DrDisrespect on delivered in the DMs, and this is how he's talking to him. I don't actually know that, but it's just a cartoonishly childish act I could imagine this troglodyte doing. There's also the part where he tells his wife to wait mid-video.
I can't support it. Hang on, honey. Doing this, talking to Twitter.
Like, couldn't you edit that out? I suppose I'm glad he didn't. The final individual I wanted to talk about was Shroud. You see, the Doc and Shroud have a storied history as they were both at the peak of their careers with battle royales blowing up, so fans were always excited to see them collaborate. It's noticeable, however, that this never happened again after the Doc was banned, so what exactly was the reason? Well, here's what Shroud has to say after the reason for Doc's ban was released most recently.
Shroud, have you personally tried to hit up Doc at all? No, I haven't talked to him since he got banned because I am a logical person. The second Doc got banned on Twitch, my logic kicked in and I said, yep, you don't just get banned randomly. And I didn't say a word to him, didn't message him, didn't reply to anything on Twitter, didn't associate at all, because you don't just get banned. I'm not a fucking idiot. Fucking use your brain, people. People don't just get banned.
There are plenty of theories surrounding the idea that Shroud had insider info, although I think there's a low chance that he did. I have no reason to disbelieve Shroud in his explanation. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't collabed with any other banned streamers. So yeah, much like with most of the allegations on this list, the situation continued to develop while I was writing and researching, with the Doc doing a comeback stream in which he addressed the allegations. This was certainly something.
The public demanded to hear from the Doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs? You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what, Cody? Why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages.
You also said this, Doc. That's the whole fucking reason this allegation even exists. Other than the ban, there is next to no evidence other than Doc's dumb fuck statements. So really, he only has himself to blame.
Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do.
I'm sure you do.
And yeah, I used Twitch's whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They report on all this based on leaks from two former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
Okay, this point means literally nothing to me. As far as I'm concerned, CSAM exclusively refers to photos and videos, And if you recall, both parties have acknowledged that the messages were exchanged on Twitch Whispers, where you can't send photos or videos. If anything, it's fucking damning that he's phrasing it this way. He's trying to lawyer speak his way around it, but it's coming off as extremely guilty to me. Don't worry though, his dumbest point is still yet to come.
I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles.
This man legitimately tried to claim that he admitted to inappropriately messaging a minor, editing the word in and out of the tweet as fucking bait for journalists. This is such a fucking brain-rotted decision. I actually refuse to believe someone is dumb enough to do that.
I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
Yet another confession. This guy cannot help himself. What in the fuck do you mean mutual inappropriate banter when you yourself later said this?
I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize.
That description doesn't sound particularly mutual to me.
I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal! You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally, the face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy, and it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence? The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end.
Why? Because he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling Cody?
But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, big-time arbitration. Okay, and you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC, Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received.
In the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. This phrasing heavily implies to me that he was in contact with an under 18 who was outside of the US in a country where the age of consent is, I don't know, 16 for example. This would mean Doc engaging with this individual would technically be legal in their jurisdiction. However, that doesn't mean it's not immoral or predator behavior. Also, might I note, he doesn't once mention his own jurisdiction.
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
What's actually fucking unbelievable is the fact that this guy still has an extremely dedicated fan base, despite the fact that he himself admitted to inappropriately contacting a minor and he is still yet to provide a single shred of evidence otherwise.
For all these doc haters out there too, oh man, the ones that project and project and project and project and worry about everyone else's problems, right? I can't understand that mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane. But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane. For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll just dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me.
Yup.
Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you.
Oh, so it's for all your room temperature IQ fans who either 1, didn't even know the situation was going on, or 2, knew of the situation but were going to dick ride and glaze you regardless of the outcome.
This was for my team today, my community, my friends, la familia that have supported me.
Well, at least he's honest about that part.
And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did.
You fucking said it yourself! This allegation even went on for long enough that Nick Merckx had enough time to drop his first agreeable tweet in history, stating, "This retard DrDisrespect is married with kids, pushing 40, admits to texting a minor inappropriately, his words, not mine." Based. I don't see why people are giving him shit for this. I mean, Doc really self-reported, and if he genuinely did not inappropriately contact a minor, he did the equivalent of blasting his own fucking leg off with a shotgun in that response tweet. I mean, for fuck's sake, he doesn't even clarify what the age of the alleged minor is. All Doc really needs to do to disprove this allegation is either 1, release the DMs, or 2, the age of the individual. The fact that he hasn't yet, despite the NDA being broken, is pretty fucking damning in my mind. One thing I haven't really mentioned yet, but has been visible in some of the articles in the background, is DrDisrespect's demonetization on platforms like Discord and YouTube. Well, it appears that he's reapplied for monetization, so I guess we can only really see what YouTube does with that, although considering the fact that EDP still has a platform, my hopes are not the highest. As per usual, here is a teaser for the next individual in the Nightmare Blunt rotation, that being Boogie2988.
You got Matt, stop the fuck up! Let me get through it, motherfucker! This is why, Dan, I told you I couldn't talk about this, man.
You can do this.
This is why I told you, no, I can't. I told you I couldn't talk about this.
Boogie, you knocked this out of the park.
I begged you not to make me talk about this on the show. I begged you.
You crushed it.
I begged you. I begged you. I begged you, Dan. I begged you.
You crushed it. You did very good tonight.
I fucking begged you.
You did. What's going on over there? You did fine. I think you broke your computer. Hello?
Oh, thank you for making it this far. I just wanted to express my gratitude for all the support that I've gotten recently, because now my channel is monetized. By the time this video uploads, I should be generating about 2 cents per upload, which is, you know, that's good, I guess. If you wanted to go the extra mile and support me with a channel membership, then about right now is when I would be thanking you. Additionally, if I finish a video ahead of schedule, then you'll be able to see that when I upload it. Anyway, there is no pressure at all. Your view is more than enough. You won't be missing anything by not paying me money, well, except for these nugget-themed channel membership badges. Gotta have the FOMO-based marketing tactics, I guess. But yeah, if it isn't evidenced by the last 3 years of my channel, I'd be doing this for free anyway. So really, I just appreciate the support, and you guys allow me to chase my dreams. So thank you again for watching.